your engine is lying to you. Right now, one contaminated sensor the size of your thumb is feeding corrupted data to your engine's brain, and your car is shaking, stumbling, and burning through fuel because of it. Shops across the country see this nightmare every single day, and they are counting on you never finding out the truth. Today you are getting the full breakdown of the most troublesome sensors destroying engines right now, and the one waiting at number 1 is so misunderstood and so consistently ignored that leaving before the end would be the single most expensive decision you make this year. Mechanics replace oxygen sensors, fuel pumps, and catalytic converters chasing this problem. None of it fixes anything. You deserve to know why. Starting at number 5, your intake air temperature sensor is quietly bleeding your wallet dry without a single warning light to tip you off. This small 2-wire sensor tells your engine computer how dense the incoming air is so it can calculate the right fuel mixture. And when it drifts or fails, your engine compensates by dumping too much or too little fuel into every combustion cycle. You feel it as rough idle, sluggish throttle response, and a fuel economy number that keeps dropping no matter how carefully you drive. The trap is that shops rarely check this sensor first. Instead, you get quoted for injector cleaning at $250, throttle body service at $180, or an idle air control valve replacement at $320, none of which touches the actual problem. Consumer Reports documented owner complaints across 2016 through 2019 Toyota Camry, Honda CR-V, and Ford Escape platforms calling out erratic idle caused by intake temperature sensor failures that were misdiagnosed repeatedly. The actual sensor costs you $30 to $80. Ignore this, and you are not saving money. You are just paying for your mistakes slowly. At number 4, your throttle position sensor is a gamble you take every single time you pull out of your driveway. This sensor tracks exactly how far you are pressing the accelerator and sends that signal to your ECU so the engine knows how aggressively to respond. When it wears out, the signal becomes erratic and your engine has absolutely no idea what you are asking it to do. You experience hesitation from a stop, sudden surges at highway speeds, and an idle that hunts between 500 and 900 RPM, like the engine cannot make up its mind. NHTSA received over 11,000 complaints related to throttle response issues across 2014 through 2020 model years on GM trucks and Jeep Grand Cherokees, with a significant portion misdiagnosed as transmission problems costing owners between $800 and $1,400. Before anyone touched the throttle sensor, a genuine TPS replacement costs you $60 to $120 in parts and an hour of labor. The regret hits hardest when you realize you paid triple, that chasing the wrong problem and a completely failed throttle position sensor can kill your throttle response entirely in the middle of an intersection. Number 3 is your oxygen sensor, and the betrayal here is that you probably already replaced it once, and your idle is still rough. Your check engine codes P0171 and P0174 signal a lean running condition and point directly at oxygen sensors on any basic scan tool. Shops see those codes and quote you $200 to $600 for O2 sensor replacement per bank. You authorize it because the codes match the parts. But those lean codes are symptoms, not causes. Your oxygen sensor is reporting accurately. It is detecting a lean condition caused by something else entirely, and you just paid hundreds of dollars to replace a perfectly functional part. Consumer Reports analysis found oxygen sensor replacement is one of the top 5 most unnecessarily performed repairs on vehicles presenting with rough idle. The financial disaster does not stop at the service counter either. A vehicle with documented repeated rough idle complaints and multiple shop visits for the same symptom loses between $800 and $1,500 in private resale value. Your money pit follows you all the way to the day you try to sell. At number 2, your crankshaft position sensor is the one that turns a rough idle into a complete roadside breakdown with zero warning. This sensor tracks the exact rotational position of your crankshaft, so the ECU knows precisely when to fire each injector and ignition coil. When it starts failing, you get intermittent misfires that feel like your engine skipping heartbeats, a randomly appearing rough idle, and a flashing check engine light that by federal regulation signals active misfires severe enough to destroy your catalytic converter. NHTSA issued recall investigations involving crankshaft position sensor failures on over 200,000 Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles between 2012 and 2018, with owners reporting sudden highway stalling with zero warning. Your repair cost runs $150 to $400. But the nightmare is what happens when this sensor dies completely at highway speed. You are looking at a tow bill, emergency diagnostic fees, catalytic converter damage from preceding misfires, and potentially a collision if traffic does not cooperate. This sensor does not just cost you money, it costs you safety. And here is number one, the sensor nobody cleans, the one your dealer will never mention because there is zero profit in a 15-minute fix. Your mass airflow sensor sits between your air filter housing and throttle body, measuring exactly how much air enters your engine so the ECU can deliver the right amount of fuel. Over 30,000 to 50,000 miles, oil vapor from your PCV system and microscopic dust build an invisible film across its sensing element, finer than human hair. You cannot see the contamination, but your shaking idle, stumbling acceleration, and falling fuel economy are screaming it at you. Consumer Reports linked MAF contamination to rough idle complaints across 2015 through 2021, Honda CR-Vs, Toyota Camrys, and Ford F-150s affecting hundreds of thousands of owners. NHTSA logs over 14,000 complaints from drivers who paid for oxygen sensors, injector cleaning, and intake gaskets without ever fixing the real problem. $8 of MAF sensor cleaner and 15 minutes is all it takes. Spray 3 short bursts from 6 inches. Let each evaporate. Reinstall. Disconnect your negative battery terminal for 10 minutes to reset your ECU, and your engine idles like new. This is the fix dealerships bury because it destroys their most profitable diagnostic pathway. You just learned what most owners discover only after wasting thousands on misdiagnosed repairs. If this video saved you money, hit subscribe and drop a comment below telling me where you are watching from.